Walk through Times Square at rush hour and you are walking through one of the most iconic skylines on Earth. You are also walking through traffic signals built on 1970s technology and a power grid designed before the modern car existed. In that same moment, Beijing's AI has made 30,000 signal adjustments. Shanghai's port has unloaded hundreds of containers with zero human operator. A bridge in Wuhan has already flagged a structural issue no inspector has yet seen. These are not future projections. These are daily operational baselines. Today, we rank 10 Chinese megacities against New York. Not to embarrass anyone, to make the gap impossible to ignore. Welcome to Big Check Energy, 10 Tianjin, the green machine most people outside China have never heard of. Tianjin. That is exactly what makes it interesting. The Sino-Singapore Tianjin Eco-City is a complete residential district built from scratch to test green technology at full operational scale. Every building connects to a smart power grid that balances solar, wind, and main supply energy continuously, second by second. When one building generates surplus power, the grid automatically routes it to a neighbor that needs no human decision involved. Carbon emissions run roughly 60% lower than a conventional development of the same size. The port handles tens of millions of containers annually through automated cranes and self-driving cargo vehicles. The Port of New York and New Jersey still depends heavily on manual operations that make the entire process slower and less precise. Tianjin is running today what most cities still call a future goal. 9 Suzhou. The silent genius Suzhou does not try to impress you with noise. It impresses you with precision. The Suzhou Industrial Park connects factories through artificial intelligence systems that share production data in real time. If one facility runs low on materials, another adjusts its output automatically. If demand rises overnight in another country, the entire network responds before a human manager has called a meeting. Machines communicate directly with other machines. Most Western countries are still in early testing phases for this kind of manufacturing intelligence. In Suzhou, it is the daily operational default. Gate Wuhan, the connected giant Wuhan, sits across the Yangtze River, which creates an enormous engineering challenge. Its response is one of the most impressive pieces of urban infrastructure anywhere. The Yangtze River Highway and rail bridge carries cars on the upper level and metro trains on the lower level simultaneously. Sensors embedded throughout the cables and deck feed continuous structural data to monitoring systems that detect stress and movement in real time. Engineers know about developing problems long before any visible damage appears. In New York, aging bridges and tunnels are inspected on scheduled cycles, meaning problems can develop and progress between visits without anyone knowing. Wuhan's bridges essentially inspect themselves all day, every day. The metro grew from almost nothing to over 300 kilometers of track in roughly 15 years, moving 5 million passengers daily with automated trains that coordinate with bus routes in real time. If a metro line is delayed, bus services adjust automatically to absorb the extra demand. 7 Chengdu, the city that thinks before it builds. Most cities build first and fix the problems afterward. Chengdu builds a digital twin of itself first. Before breaking ground on anything, planners test every decision inside a continuously updated virtual copy of the entire city. They can see how a new road affects traffic 3 years from now. They can identify problems that have not happened yet and solve them before construction begins. Chengdu Tianfu International Airport was built in approximately 4 years, designed from day one to handle 80 million passengers annually with automated baggage tracking and facial recognition boarding. JFK is still mid-renovation after years of work. Chengdu built a more advanced facility with greater capacity in less time. 6 Hangzhou, the city your phone runs. Hangzhou is where the line between physical and digital infrastructure has effectively disappeared. The City Brain, an AI platform built with Alibaba, processes data from millions of sensors and cameras in real time, managing traffic, coordinating emergency response, and adjusting public services based on actual live demand. When first deployed at scale, it reduced average commute times in the most congested districts by up to 15%. Hangzhou is also where mobile payments effectively replaced cash entirely. Transit, food, retail, entertainment, a single car code or face scan handles every transaction. The city runs on consistent 5G coverage across essentially every street. unlike major American cities where coverage remains uneven and unreliable. 5. Shenzhen. The speed city 40 years ago, Shenzhen was a fishing village. Today it is a technology hub of 17 million people that competes directly with global financial centers. Every one of its 16,000 city buses is fully electric. A significant percentage of taxis are electric. The charging infrastructure to support this is built throughout the city. The equivalent would be New York replacing every single MTA bus with an electric model. That has not happened. It is not close to happening. Shenzhen finished doing it years ago. The metro expanded from nothing to one of the world's most extensive networks in under 2 decades, with fully automated trains integrated seamlessly with the city's payment infrastructure. 4. Guangzhou. The trade brain Guangzhou has been a trading hub for centuries. What makes it remarkable now is how completely it has modernized that role. Beijing International Airport handles over 70 million passengers annually. Facial recognition manages check-in, security, and boarding. You move from the entrance to your seat without presenting a physical document at any point. Most American airports repeat the same manual document checks at every checkpoint. Guangzhou's metro connects directly to high-speed rail terminals. Step off a local train and onto a service heading hundreds of kilometers away. No friction. No stops. 3. Beijing. The living city Beijing's metro moves 3.5 billion passengers per year. New York moves 1 billion. Beijing handles 3.5 times the volume on a network still expanding at a pace New York could not match in 50 years. Beijing's AI controls over 12,000 intersections simultaneously, adjusting signals every few seconds based on live data from millions of cameras and sensors. When you drive through Beijing, you are not following a timer set decades ago. The network watches you and adjusts in real time. Commute times drop 30% compared to cities still running fixed signal systems. New York is one of those cities. 2. Chongqing. The vertical maze Chongqing is the city that should not work. Built across mountains, cliffs, and rivers with elevation changes of over 1,000 meters, the metro burrows through mountains, rises onto bridges hundreds of meters above rivers, and in one of the most remarkable transit moments anywhere on Earth, passes directly through a residential apartment building at the 6th floor. Families live above and below. The train stops inside. Chongqing has more bridges than any other city on the planet. Raffles City connects 4 towers at the top, with a 12,000-ton structure lifted into position by hydraulic jacks, while the towers beneath it were still being built. Unsolvable problem. Extraordinary solution. #One Shanghai. The city that runs the future Shanghai is not trying to be the future. It already is. The maglev covers 30 kilometers in 7 minutes at 430 kilometers per hour. New York's air train runs at 60 and is known for delays. Shanghai built something 6 times faster just to connect its airport to the city. Yangshan Port is the busiest container port on Earth, operating almost entirely without humans. Automated cranes and robotic systems move millions of containers faster than facilities running 10 times the workforce. Shanghai Tower's AI manages heating and ventilation independently across 128 floors. Facial recognition handles transit, payments, and building access citywide. You move. The city handles the rest. Of these 10 cities, which one would you most want to spend a week living in? And which one sounds impressive, but would feel genuinely uncomfortable day to day? Drop your honest answer in the comments below. If this gave you something real to think about, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss what we cover next. We will see you in the next one.